When?
All right. Good evening, everybody. I think we've got a quorum. Richard, you want to take roll call, please?
Sure. On screen, I have Bachhuber, Gieber,
Here.
Kuhn, Olson, which is just not a member, but Pollock. So we're missing Kenor, Potter, and Shaw.
Mhm.
So we have 4, which is a quorum.
That's a quorum.
Yes.
All right. All right. Well, last approve the minutes from October 19th, 2023.
This is Warren. I'll move for approval.
We have a second. I'll second if I can. And all right, well, Emily, you're still turned off, but all in favor, raise your hand or say aye.
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 Erica, did she say something?
Jim, or Rich and Jim, I don't see that Erica has any audio up.
Yeah, I don't either. See her
Erica,
name. See her name only.
do you have a camera on that you could wave?
Wonder if she's on her phone. She's not even mutable.
This is Emily. I was having a hard time finding the mute button, so she might be having the same issue. I'm on my phone.
Okay. Well, we need her to be present and have a quorum though. Erica, respond. Well. We have a number to get a hold of her.
I don't.
I don't either.
I'm looking on the
Oh,
Try.
she's coming in twice.
Still no audio based on the participants list.
Is Ken supposed to attend the next meeting?
Ken said he was going to be here for this meeting.
Maybe
So
give Ken a call. Maybe call Ken up if you have his number.
I don't.
right.
Didn't we
I'll look
figure
and
this out a month ago, 2 months ago?
Yeah.
I'll look and see if I got Ken's number.
I got it right here. I'm gonna give him a call right now. Hey Ken, how you doing today? Well, you're having trouble too? Okay, we don't have a quorum yet. What's your you went to the link on the well, go to the link and then you do have to I went to the join button after I hit the link. It takes you to kind of a generic page. Upper right. All right, I'm gonna see what happens if I do this again. If I hit the link, I get to a page that says it's a Zoom kind of a home page, one platform to create. Is that what you see? Right. Yep. Okay, stay right there. Upper right corner there on the black band, you see in the upper right, you see sign in, host, and join. Why don't you hit join? Well, what happened then? That's right. No, that's the ID number, which is on the back on the agenda. I'll read it to you if you want me to. Eight one. No, let me just type it in. I'll read it to you. Oh. Yeah. All right. So the meeting ID, which is what you want to put in there, is 812-6249 2632. Yeah. And now it's going to ask you for a password. All right, go. Yeah. Password is 694012. Yeah, hopefully then you'll be asked. That's all on the agenda, the PDF agenda document.
There he's coming, but no audio.
Yeah,
There he is.
no problem. I'm glad you're here because we need a quorum. So turn on your microphone and I'm gonna hang up now. All right, thanks, Ken. Bye-bye. All right. Ken, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Great. All right. So Richard, we're gonna add Ken to the roll call, I take it?
Yep.
And I guess we'll vote on is Erica communicative or not yet?
No,
All right.
looks like she's trying to come in again.
Just raised her hand. I see her.
If she could signal with
A raise. All
reaction.
right. All right. We're taking a vote on the minutes here. We had a motion from who made the motion? It's too long.
I
ago.
did, Warren.
Thank you, Warren. I seconded it. Approval of the minutes. All in favor, raise your hand, dance around your chair or say aye or something.
Aye.
Thank you.
I think
Thanks,
that's,
Erica. We can see your hand.
I'm
I'm
gonna,
already tired.
I'm gonna call that a 4-1 because Erica didn't vote.
She raised her hand. That counted, I think.
Oh, I can't see her. I don't know.
Yeah, she did a
Right.
little hand. Yeah. There she is. Now we can see
I'm
her.
finally on. Sorry, I was having difficulties.
Oh, there we are. Perfect.
Hey,
Hi.
Score.
You got a quorum.
All right, so we'll call that 5-0.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Okay,
you.
Richard, the only item then is the proposed maintenance agreement with MSA for inspections of private stormwater facilities. We talked about a little bit this back in October, I guess, but go ahead and provide the summary there if you would, please.
Sure. Essentially, the businesses or anybody that's got a stormwater system is supposed to do a survey of it or certify that it's still functioning as intended. And we've been sending out notices to all the people that have these features, and we're down to just a few that have not complied by responding with a engineer report back to us that it's still functioning as it was intended. So in part of the ordinance, we are able to hire a consultant to dispatch them to certain sites to get this work done, and then provide them with the information and a summary to us so that they can either on their own figure out what they need to do with their people, or we can also later, but not included in this, hire a consultant or a contractor to do the work. And what this proposal is for is just to do the inspections and summaries. And there's a task order already completed by MSA.
Mhm.
And here is the pricing. Try to cheat this over just a little. Or a lot.
They divide them into small and larger systems, and they describe those, and it's, was it 1,500 for a small and 2,000 some for a large?
Yep, 1530 and 70 for a large or a complex.
Yeah,
Did I die?
Complex. No, you're there.
Okay,
You
I
flicker.
locked up before. I don't know if Eric explained that.
Yeah,
I did.
you're good. Okay, discussion. Anybody get questions on this?
Yeah, this is Warren. I think we made great progress in this compliance, but as I mentioned before, in either in water resources or here is, while this visual inspection is good, I don't know if we really know whether infiltration is working or not. So I would like to add that have MSA do a infiltration test for each one of these sites to verify that infiltration is really working. And it also give us a good feedback on whether the inspection procedure is enough or whether we actually need infiltration test. I know the consultants are supposed to get out there after a rainstorm and see if the infiltration has worked, but there aren't that many rainstorms. And so my guess is they probably aren't out there right after a rainstorm. So I'd like to add that to the proposal for MSA.
I have some thoughts on that, but I'll open it up to discussion before I express anything.
Seems like a good idea to me. These things can be pretty they don't always work. So,
And
I
I,
disagree. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I think one thing you guys will have to consider. I don't know if this extra cost to do a field infiltration test should be necessarily borne by the landowner.
Mhm.
Seems like it's kind of over and above. So if we wanted to do this, maybe we fund it from a different mechanism, fees in lieu, perhaps.
Yeah. That, Eric, I had the same concern that we're not requiring that of other property owners. They just have to turn in, and yes, we trust that they're doing a good job. And I agree with what Ken said, that you can't always tell just by looking at it. So I like the idea of finding out these things, if some sampling of them are actually still working, but I think the cost for that should not be borne by the property owner because nobody else is having to pay for that.
It could also come from swap funds too, couldn't it? It is a maintenance item.
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but I, like everybody, I think we can't make the property owner pay.
No,
So we would ask MSA simply when they're doing the inspection, we would ask them to conduct the test. It's not they should make the inspection as they would have, as they intended to, and report back to the city. And the test is just for, well, that's a little bit, that's where it gets a little tricky, I think.
Right. I guess I would just hop in to say, to give some context or a little information, to come out with send someone out with a double ring infiltrometer test equipment. I estimated that as about a $650 endeavor. So to go with the discussion, I guess the trickiest part of it is when to determine where you want to do one of these tests and,
Right.
and where it's not needed. And I don't know if that's kind of comes from institutional knowledge of if folks from the city or there's a kind of known ponds that are suspect or something like that.
Yeah,
Well,
and would
how
you
many,
want a 2 hour, what length test are you proposing, Jeff?
Yeah, that's like the standard 2 hour
2 hour.
test. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a process. It takes, certainly you gotta have the water and the time and all that.
Yeah, a little bit of time to write up the findings and, you know,
So might we simply do these testings on sites that may or may not be these particular ones? It might be 3 or 4 or 5 sites that Eric and Richard identify separately from this effort, based on their knowledge of how things, age of a site or concerns with us, whatever. It may not be these particular ones.
Private sites though, Jim?
Well, yeah, do you see an issue with getting permission to do that? I don't think so.
Be easier
think-
for MSA to do it on these sites, though, wouldn't it? Since they're already going to be there.
It would be, but if we think this is over and above, and then the infiltration test reveals that the sites has failed, do we then use that we ought to,
Right.
as evidence that we need to do some remediation to that basin? I think yes.
Yeah.
Then we gotta test every site, or at least in some fashion.
Well, we'd have to go back and think about it. And I think if you do infiltration tests, maybe we don't have to do it every 2 years. We could go maybe a 4-year period for inspections.
Well, DNR has something to say about how often the inspections get done also, I think.
Is that
Isn't there
right?
I think they got a criteria for that.
They don't require inspections, do they?
Yeah. They require a certification of some sort that the site is functional.
Well, let's get into that later, I guess. Let's just do either do these 4 or let's pick some that might think are failing. But my original thought was to just do these 4.
Well, this might not end up as 4 either. There's kind of 2 for sure and 2 or 3 that are in flux. So that's why we asked Jeff to kind of give us a price on a per site basis.
Mhm.
Well, if that's the case, then maybe pick out 2 other sites where we think it might be, might have a failure, where we've already done a visual inspection.
I'm thinking.
Are we pretty confident that the test actually simulates reality? In other words, it seems to me that one could spread out this process by going to sites after significant rainfalls, and actually where you're putting in a significant amount of water. I could see where you go out there and do a test, and it could be a failing system, but you're just filling up the space down to the spot of failure. You know what I mean? And so you might not see that it's not working.
Ken, what you just said prompted a thought. That my feeling is, if we want to get a better handle on how these are performing, in a more comprehensive way, I like the idea of perhaps contracting with MSA, and it has to be a summertime. We can't do testing now anyway. It's got to be a thaw time. So what about an inspection, a visual inspection within 24 hours or 48 of a rainstorm that occurs, and they have to be prepared to go out and inspect dozens of these places within a period of time? What's the thought?
I think it's more realistic.
Right.
If they can do that, I mean, I think most consultants are busy doing other things, and all of a sudden they have to drop what they're doing.
Oh, not Jeff. He just sits around drinking coffee all day. He's not doing anything. Come on.
surfing the internet. That's certainly, I think, the best way to get the best information. But as Warren alluded to, it does present a little bit of challenges, right? You got to time up work schedules and rainfall schedules, but
How
I
many
think-
practices are we dealing with? How many
How many?
sites? Yeah,
150?
yeah, that's a lot, yeah.
And we can't, obviously, you can't go to all of them, but we could, you could identify 25, maybe 30.
Mhm.
The drawdown on these, Eric or Richard and Jeff is it actually 72 hours, or what is the drawdown supposed to be?
No, it's 24
24.
to the surface. And then if you consider the void space storage, it's 72 hours
Okay.
within the, media.
Okay, but it'd be a visual to the surface at least.
So if they just do a test with applying water, well, they gotta put a lot of water in, don't they? I mean, that's a big endeavor, right?
Well,
It can be if they infiltrate quickly, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's a small,
Yeah, if it's a small one, but if it's a big one, I don't know. It just seems to me there's gotta be a more efficient way.
well, the
Ken,
standard test would be the 24 inch diameter, 2-foot diameter, 12-inch diameter rings.
right.
And yeah, we've done this, you guys have done this, 50 gallons of water sometimes to do a couple of these, if it's sandy and whatnot. Anyway,
Well, if it's going down real fast, then you already know it's working.
well,
Right, you could truncate the test or something if it's zipping right through, rather than trying to worry about
Yeah.
carrying it through to two full hours and trying to
Yeah,
figure
yeah.
out how you're gonna get enough water supply.
well, yeah, good point. Okay. To conclude this, if I can, I'd like to suggest we adopt the proposal as written, and we also come up with a plan to do a more comprehensive inspection of some number of sites and see if we can work out a visual inspection post rainfall sometime in the 2023 growing season,
And not do an infiltration test now.
and not do them now. Well, first of all, you can't do them now, Warren. It's
I know not now, but not approve it now.
not include that in this motion.
So when is MSA going to do these inspections? That $600 probably wouldn't apply if they have to go out there at a separate time.
Well,
The,
Can I suggest something? I mean, maybe we ask MSA for another task order we're gonna find a day to be determined by a rainstorm some point in the summer, and then they're gonna do a drive-by
mhm.
of 20 different ponds perhaps. And if one or 10 of them are identified as they look problematic, maybe then we go with a double ring infiltrometer test.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would work. If, you're talking 24 hours, so if it rains at night means the next day they got to do it.
right,
yeah, I know. It's nothing's predictable in this world, and especially in the stormwater world. We can, do the best we can.
Eric, how
course,
many of the sites do you know I had heard 140 number or something like that? Are those sites that have infiltration basins, or just sites that are subject to these inspections? They might not have infiltration basins.
I think the number is really like 160, 165. And no, they don't all have infiltration features. I'll throw out 3/4 of them would. Maybe less than that.
Yeah.
And there's numerous public facilities also.
Right. All right, so it is getting to be 6:28. I'm going to ask if there is a motion to accept the recommendation of the staff on this, on these inspections. and the MSA task order. I need a motion.
Well, this is Warren. I'll make that motion. I guess with the idea that we'll look into it later on this summer. We're doing a more comprehensive analysis.
I'll second that motion.
Thanks, David.
Was your idea to have them come back with a proposal?
You mean for this second phase that we just talked about?
Yeah, is that what you mentioned? Have MSA come back with a plan, how they might do a visual inspection?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out a way to separate it from this current proposal to get this done.
Mm-hmm. That's my suggestion also. So we have a motion and a second to approve the recommendation as printed, with the understanding that we will further investigate performance of these devices under a separate effort. Any other discussion? Then I guess we'll take a vote. All in favor, raise your hand or say aye, please.
Aye.
I
Any opposed? Hearing none. Guess it passed.
I think I'm gonna call that 6-0.
I didn't hear any opposed.
I did see David showed up, so
Yes,
Yep,
David
I-
came in.
the only
I
one
voted.
missing is Knorr, so. With no opposition, I think the motion did carry.
All right. Appreciate your,
Need a motion to adjourn when you're done.
do we need a motion? That's always the debate every.
Let's just
Why
do
not?
it.
All right.
Could I
Oh.
ask a quick question?
Sure.
And maybe I can talk with Eric about this later. So is that side idea of the infiltration test, is the idea that the city would like MSA to come up with an approach and a schedule for identifying, or approach for identifying these ponds that would be tested, and then a schedule for that? Or is that something the city's gonna come up with and ask us for a proposal to do? And again, I can work with Eric offline and
Yeah.
suss this out.
Eric, I'll just give you my 2 cents worth would be to have MSA propose a cost for a one-day inspection of, pick a number of sites, and then maybe a per cost if we decide to go back and do double ring infiltrometers at selected sites, what a per site cost would be. Is that, and that's just a suggestion. You guys can work out the details, of course.
That's roughly what I had in mind. Jeff, we can talk about it in the morning or something.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, everyone.
You don't need that as a motion or not?
It's not on the agenda. I don't know if it's a,
Well, okay.
It's just part of the discussion for this other motion,
yeah,
other. It's
We'll need
more,
a motion when they come back with a proposal.
right,
right, we're not spending any money, we're just directing staff to do something.
right.
Okay.
All right, we need to move to adjourn, I guess.
So moved.
Shaw,
Yep.
second,
I'll second.
Thank you.
Erica,
And all in favor of adjournment, say aye, raise your hand. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
We don't have to log off, do we, for the next meeting?
nope,
No.
I just have to stop recording and then turn control over to Eric, and then we can get going with WRMC.
All right, thanks, folks. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Good night.
I gotta leave for a minute.
Rich, do I have control?
Not just yet, I need to stop recording. As soon as I figure out where that was. It's different now. a different pop down.
Yeah, the log on procedure was a little more klutzy this time around.